Hey everyone, it is LSID932 on YouTube. Thank you for joining me. This is another episode of Love is Blind Argentina. We are picking up steam with all of these couples, and I hope you will continue to join me. But I will ask you for a favor, a small favor. Could you please hit the like, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I see all of you coming through. Y'all are seeing, but y'all aren't hitting the like and you're not subscribing to the channel. So just hit the like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on every video I will be uploading. And I will keep them coming as long as you keep on visiting. How about that? How would we make that agreement? I also ask for a little grace. I am watching an edited show that is translated into English, voice, and subtitles. So I may get some things lost in translation, but please understand it is interpretation of, I guess, third hand. So let me grab my notes. We are on episode 5. We start off with Santiago and Emily. They're still talking about her hugging Tom. Remember the last time when they were in Tulum, Emily hugged on Tom and looked at Santiago and said, "Hey, I hope you don't get jealous. You better not get jealous. I don't like jealous," but she was really clutching on Tom. And it was to a point of, yeah, girl, you need to let him go. Florfy, come get your guy. Save him. Santiago leaves the pool, their private pool, from their room. And, he just sits there for the longest time. But she says she doesn't want to fall asleep without him there with her. And I'm like, can the man have a moment to think? Santiago needs to calm down. He needs a little space. He needs a little time. But she needs him to sleep. I'm like, girl, you just met this man 2 days ago. How can you not sleep without him being there? But he goes to bed because he doesn't want to argue. Sounds like capitulation. So he talks to her. He says, because he's in love with her, he overreacts. Red flag. It's not because of love you're reacting, Santiago. I hope you will flush that out a little bit more. You were uncomfortable, and that's okay. She doesn't want to go through another jealous fit. And I'm like, Santiago, we didn't see a fit. We didn't see a fit. We saw the man is hurt. He is like, I don't want to talk to you right now. It wasn't a fit. But ma'am, you created this. And I think you did this to push his buttons to see how he would act in jealousy. But that is just my suspicion. Let me know what you think in the comments. You have Florfy and Tom. They're still going strong. They're waking up together. They're hiding from the camera for alone time. Okay, I see you, Florfy and Tom. Ezekiel and Julieta. They are with Eva and Roberto. Eva and Roberto seem to be growing apart. Because she is kind of like, I'm with him, but I'm not sure I want to be with him. They are kind of growing apart. And I don't like to see it. So Eva talks with Julieta alone. And Julieta sees that Eva is wearing the pants in the relationship. I was like, girl, you wearing the pants? Julieta says she will talk to Roberto because, they have to have a rapport. And Julieta, loves Ezekiel and everything about him. But you ain't telling him, Julieta. You're not telling Ezekiel. So Ezekiel's with Roberto, and Roberto, agrees that Eva is his type. And Ezekiel says Julieta is just not comfortable with showing affection with the cameras around. And I understand, and I see that. Roberto goes on and on about how he and Julieta had a connection in the pods, and Ezekiel shut him down, as he should. Roberto, come on. That's his fiance. So Ezekiel said he doesn't see him as a threat, but he shut it down. And I believe the cameras are an issue for Julieta because she wears something to cover up her lower half when they were in the water swimming. So I think she's a little conservative with what she sees and portrays on camera. So Ava, outs that Roberto doesn't know how to barbecue. Is that a thing? Are we supposed to know how to barbecue? Are we supposed to? I'm trying to figure out. Is it because he has a family farm, he should know how to barbecue? The man is probably taking care of animals if he's on the farm. Okay, so why would he know how to barbecue? So she says she created him in her head, with him helping his sister and his sister's newborn. She created this dream of him. And I'm like, girl, you about to wake up? Santiago and Emily meet Florfy and Tom and Mauricio and Maria Emilia. And throughout the course, I'm going to show you guys pictures of these folks. I've downloaded some photos so you can kind of see the couples I'm talking about. Mauricio says it's hard to say when asked if he would marry Maria Emilia right now, because getting married is a big decision. And he says he will get there eventually. Maria Emilia says she always wanted to get married. She's thought of marriage as a union, and she feels like they have known each other for years. Florfy said the only conflict is to figure out I do at the altar. It feels like a lot of pressure. It's a commitment to make it, after only a few days. And Tom says he wants to stay in the present and not worry so much. Tom, bring the girl back to the ground. Tom. Florfy is overthinking. And y'all are my strong couple. I can't have y'all thinking like this. Florfy, I'm going to need you. I need you, Florfy, to get this together. So the couples meet up. They play a game of Never Have I Ever. I dislike this game. It always in the U.S. causes a whole bunch of conflict. But in Argentina, it was fun and lively. Nobody was jealous about hearing the exploits of their partner because it was before them. Very, very mature thinking. But Robert was off to the side hanging with Ezekiel. And I was like, Robert or Roberto, dude, Ezekiel does not want to hang with you. You are constantly talking about his fiance. He don't want to hang. Go somewhere. Go by Eva. She wants your time. Emily asked Eva, does she want her man, Santiago? And Eva is like, pull back. She was shocked. She's like, that's not a joke. And Eva did not appreciate that kind of joke. So I'm like, Emily is a starter. She is a starter. You were just there with the hugging on Tom. Now you're asking Eva, because she's talking to the both of you standing there. She's not talking to Santiago alone if she wants your fiance. I'm watching you, Emily. You're giving Mean Girls again. So Eva tells Julieta that, they don't like Emily's behavior. And apparently Emily was a mean girl in the pods. We'll hear more about that in subsequent episodes. Okay, so we're back at the rooms. Roberto and Eva, wish their relationship was more like Florfy and Tom when they go to bed. I'm like, don't compare your relationships. Let's live yours. Ezekiel and Julieta, he's having a hard time with Roberto constantly flirting with Julieta. And Julieta says men and women can be friends, but Ezekiel says, no, that man is into you. And is she blind to it, y'all? Should he just trust her? I mean, they're only 3 days together, but Roberto is just like, Juliet is this, Juliet is that. We had a connection. I mean, is Ezekiel right for letting his girl know exactly what he's seeing and hearing from Robert? Let me know in the comments. So Ezekiel decided to stay in bed and mope and say he's not hungry. And Julieta says she is seeing things differently. And she's like, do you think I'm an idiot? I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to act a fool with Roberto. But she does not want to argue about it. But, she acknowledges he could be seeing things that she doesn't. So the next day, Robert and Eva are sitting together. And her image of him, she said, is different. It seems he does not live in the countryside. Robert, we heard about a farm, dude. We heard about a farm. He said folks have an idea of him. And she's like, she feels bored. She left the room. She feels like there's no connection between them. Ava is just like, this is not it. Julieta and Ezekiel. Julieta says the getaway helped them, get closer, and they're getting more affectionate. And he does not share what happened last night with the producer. Correct, Ezekiel. Julieta is a private lady. Do not share anything with these people. So the couples meet for breakfast, and Roberto says he misses Argentina and his people. And Ava takes it as, oh, so you gonna go home alone? You ain't bringing me with you? Oh, okay, I see you. Ava just was like, okay, I guess you alone. You playing single? I'm going to show you later. So the hosts come in. Remember, this is the first time Love is Blind is hosted by a married couple that are not married to each other. They are married to different spouses. So the hosts come in and say, hey, the next stage is living together. They will get their phones back in Buenos Aires. These phones are always a source of contention. We'll see who like, dislike, who's following, unfollowing. We'll see it. So Mauricio and Maria Emilia, he says the getaway helped them understand each other, but it may be too early to know if he truly knows her. And she said he's worried about what's to come. And he agrees he has doubts. And he said he thought the relationship would be different than what it is. Florfy and Tom. Florfy loves that she can be 100% honest with Tom as her partner. And Tom says we need to live in the moment. He asks, would Ava make it to the end with Roberto? And, Florfy says, Ava listens to the opinions of others too much. Very, very insightful. So we go back to Ava and Roberto. And Roberto likes, he said he likes sharing the experience with her. And she says she feels that he was more interested in traveling and not about falling for her. Oh, Ava, is Roberto here for the trip? Is he just here for the trip, for the vacation? Ava said maybe she was looking for a different kind of partner. And he says, we don't have the chemistry that couples need in order to get married. And Ava's like, they're just not compatible. We not it for each other. And she says, you were not transparent and you were not committed. And he said, maybe. I was like, ooh. So they took their rings off and they left it on the bed, I guess for production. And the song played is Just Leave Me Here to Burn. While Roberto takes his suitcase and he wheels it out the room. And I'm like, what in the world just happened? They just broke up. So Ava and Roberto are no longer in the process. But I agree with them. He was not feeling it. He was not feeling her the way you would expect a couple to. So just part ways. So 16 days before the wedding. Santiago and Emily, they love the new apartment until... Santiago loves it until Emily points out they are shades of blue and yellow like her soccer team. I was like, girl, now you want him to not like the apartment? He was like, oh, we still got a private little pool. Yes. Then she's like, oh, yeah, it's all mainly blue and yellow. Production, y'all did that, didn't you? Mauricio and Maria Amelia, they said right foot across the threshold means great things for the future. So let me know if you're from Argentina. Is this just Argentina? Is it just the right foot the first time you're going over the threshold or every time you're walking over the threshold? I have some questions. I couldn't quite find it online, but right foot in first is good things. Okay, I could deal with that. I just need to know how often do we need to do that. So they say they have to negotiate the AC being on at night. He said he can't sleep in this heat, and he is hot looking. Mauricio, I can't blame you. You do resonate heat, okay? You're a good looking man, so I understand. But she can't sleep in the cold. She can't. He said he wants it to be cold so that they can hold each other for heat. Mauricio, that's a good one. That is a very good one. So she does not like his use of the slang, do you understand? Kind of like, I guess, for us here in the US, you get me? You get it? Do you get it? So she thinks he may be insulting her intelligence. Why do you have to ask, do I understand? If I nod and I acknowledge, then I understand. Just let it go, Maria Amelia. Just let it go. It's just slang. So he says he eats lean foods mainly. And she asked if he was chunky at some point in time, why he's so strict about it. But Mauricio did not look amused. He said he wanted to take his health to the next level. And I'm hoping he does not judge her for her eating habits. Because she said, hey, that tres leches in the fridge, that's mine. We go to Santiago and Emily. He found that his dad is still sick in the hospital once he got his phone back. And they talk about it, and he wants to introduce her to his dad, but this is not the right time. She tells him, take as much time as you need to go visit and see your dad, and he's happy to be here, but he is torn about his dad's health issues. Her sister calls and, they talk to her. And her parents get on the call and more family. And she shares that he is a River Plate fan. And they're like, oh, no, 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 no. But in good jest. Mauricio and Emilia, they agreed not to introduce his daughter to her right now. So he calls his daughter and she was there sitting and she said she loves to see him interact with his daughter. Ezekiel and Juliet, they go to his place and his bougie trash can. Now, I was expecting real bougie, this trash can, but it's motion sensitive. When he comes by, the lid opens. Now, is it bougie or is it really, really clean and healthy? Because then you don't cross-contaminate by touching a lid or something else. But bougie, whatever. But Julieta, you are like me. His place is like a palace. He puts his reusable bags, I guess he cleans them, folds them up, and lines them up in a drawer. And Julieta is like me. She's like, hey, I just put bag into bag and put it in a closet, call it a day. His closet is sorted. It is organized. He has lots of shoes and lots of socks. And he has a game unit, an actual arcade game unit in a room to play. And I'm like, dude, absolutely. I can understand that. That is amazing. But I love games. So I love video games. So I'm kind of biased. Florphy and Tom, she's having a problem with the experiment and how quick it's happening. And they all see the social media of other people. They see the people in the pods who made it and those who didn't. And Tom won't comment about Florencia. And the producer asks, hey, do you think Florencia is pretty? He's like, why would you put me on the spot? Because we need the camera, Tom. We need to see you on camera talk about Florencia. Ezekiel and Julieta, they talk about the others that they encountered in the pod. It was light banter. Mauricio and Maria Emilia, she's eager to get, their day-to-day routine going. And while she's talking that voiceover and she gets into bed, he just walks up wearing that towel again. That man just loved not to wear clothes. That man he wants to be admired so much for how far he's come and how good he looks. That's all it is. And she's concerned about the cameras and her work reputation and her son seeing all of this. So he asks, hey, what's the AC temperature? Mauricio, you are all about this AC temperature, aren't you? Florphy and Tom, she's calling her mom, who knows about the experiment, and mom is very happy for Florphy and very welcoming to Tom. Santiago and Emily, they talk about, Augustina. Santiago is not a fan of Augustina, okay? And Augustina added Santiago as a close friend online. And while Santiago wanted to remove himself from that, he couldn't. Only Augustina can. So he says he doesn't want this. Emily says, I trust you. It's nothing like that. He's like, I don't like that she added me. And I don't want to be added. And Emily doesn't like it because she feels like Augustina is maybe being fake with her and trying to keep tabs on the relationship. So we see that Florencia and Jose Luis have met up. There's a video that Emily plays. Apparently, Santiago says that he feels that Jose Luis is a leech and he will attach onto anything that will have him. I'm like, ooh. The men had beef. And he said Jose Luis was the person he least liked in the pods. So we see Jose Luis and Florencia walking down the street towards the apartments. Remember, she said in the last episode, it is time to be a bad bee. And I guess she and Jose Luis are moving into the complex. That is the end of episode 5, y'all. Please join me for the next episode, episode 6. We will see how much of a bad bee Florencia going to be because she's going to shake up the unit, okay? She looking for Tom. Jose Luis looking for Julieta. Thank the Lord Roberto is gone because he was looking for Julieta. I mean, y'all are just shaking stuff up, but I'm loving it. So thank you for joining me. Please hit the like, share the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.